The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560 The Answer.
Good morning and welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft. And your show has changed times.
Yes.
Many times. So it is Saturdays.
4 to 7.
4 to 7 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
So for the boat cruise this year, we're going to do pretty much like a dinner boat cruise this year.
Oh, I love the boat cruise. I went last year.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to scam my way onto that.
Let's do it.
And not pay.
Come on.
It's all right. We're friends.
We're friends.
All right. So we talk a lot about this on the show. Drag queen, brunch, which the left is now deemed family friendly. You know, drag queen bingo in certain libraries, which is family friendly.
Yeah.
And it's being celebrated all over TikTok and social media. Maria Willa, transgender, is so excited to get the bottom surgery.
Hey everybody, Marie Willa here, transgender woman extraordinaire. I'm kind of excited. Because as of today, as long as all the funds are there and nothing happens to stop it, and my insurance company approves it, in 180 days, I will perform the most aggressive tuck I've ever done in my life. In other words, my Sheenus, my Audi, it will get to become my Innie. I get to have my bottom surgery. Yeah. Yeah.
So why are you laughing? No, this is being celebrated, which is fine. But you know what? This person, I know, but this person is an adult.
Yeah.
Some see this as gender dysphoria and that there's some mental illness issues going on. She's an adult, or he's an adult. They can do what they want. But when adults start forcing this on our children,
that's my problem.
That's the problem. So with that, we welcome our guest, Erin Friday. She's a California mom, attorney, and leader of the parent advocacy group, Our Duty. And she wrote an article explaining what it took to rescue her daughter from transgenderism. Good morning, Erin. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. So let's start with your family story and what happened to your daughter to get her interested or become introduced to the idea of being transgender.
Well, she got introduced by the common way, which is a three-prong approach, which is first with the schools. Schools are teaching kids that they can be born in the wrong body and they can have a male brain and a female body and vice versa. So that's the entry point, and then it's further solidified through social media, TikTok and Instagram, and all the social media platforms are now exposing these kids to this ideology and this belief that they can change biology, which is just untrue. And then third, there's a peanut gallery of people on the internet that celebrate when a child comes to this delusion, and they love bomb them with terms that you're so brave and aren't you amazing and you're so authentic. So it's a pretty normal trajectory, unfortunately, for how these kids glom onto this false belief.
So let's talk in particular about your daughter. She was in 7th grade, 11 years old, and what happened?
She was exposed to the sex ed curriculum, which is a 5-hour course. It's an hour a day. One hour was dedicated to transgenderism, and that was the seed that was planted. And all of her friends that day, that Friday, all took on an LGBTQ alphabet soup identity right after class. So it worked. I mean, they were indoctrinating the kids right from the get-go.
And then did they keep this information? I mean, did your daughter take on a different identity?
Well, they usually start with something a little lighter than trans. They start with lesbian or pansexual, which is just kind of a nonsensical term when you're talking about 11-year-olds. It's nonsensical anyway. But, they all want it to be something other than, white, heteronormative, whatever language they were using at the time, because it's way cooler to be something else. And so they all did it. And then it migrates to, the usual trajectory is that they take on something light, they move to non-binary, which again is a term that has no meaning really in science. And then they ultimately land on transgender.
And did you know about this? I mean, were you, as a parent, did you know that this was happening? And did they have an obligation in the school to tell you, don't you think, that if she was changing genders or identities?
Well, the school had an obligation to get you to sign off to sex ed. And, I worked at the school. I was there at the school many hours a week. I had no inkling that they bring in a third party and that they spend a whole hour on gender ideology. So no, I didn't know that at all. And then when she went to high school, the high school over COVID, meaning she was, in her bedroom the whole time, never stepped foot in the classroom. That high school decided that they knew better than me, and they changed her name to a male name and using male pronouns.
So how did you find out about this?
Well, she was in down the hall.
Oh,
so
okay.
I would check her iPad, and I said, who the heck is this guy?
What name did she go by, or do you want to keep that secret?
Yeah, I'm going to keep that one a secret.
Okay.
And they're really terrible names, by the way. They all choose really strange names, cartoon characters, and it's bizarre.
There was a girl at Buffalo Grove High School. Her name was a hashtag.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh! Yeah,
What?
Hashtag. Oh. Like Prince used the symbol. She's like, I don't know if I'm a male or female. I'm a hashtag. So how did you take on the school what are you doing to try and stop this kind of indoctrination?
Well, at the school, what I did was I called the administrator and I read them the riot act, not knowing that they would then determine that I'm unsafe. And under the guise that my daughter had looked up how many monster drinks it takes to kill a 105-pound person, they sent CPS to my home.
Wow.
That was my gift.
That's your version of Chicago Department of Family and Child. I'm sorry.
California Protective Services? Is that Child
Protective Services?
Yeah, or now I guess it's DCSF or something like that. Department of Family and Child Services, something like that.
Did they try to take your daughter away from you?
They didn't actually, but it was clear to me that they were showing their muscles, that somehow these teachers who never met my daughter, I mean, it's so important to understand this, they never met her, that they somehow knew her better than I did and were, quote unquote, keeping her safe. These same, kind-hearted teachers, once I pulled her from the school, which is what I did immediately, never called to check in to see how she was doing. Wow. So it was all virtual signaling.
Yeah. So what can parents do? I mean, are there any reasons? Because it's here in Illinois, right? In January, they were actually going to pass a bill, but it died. It wasn't able to. Mike Simmons, I think, Simmons, he actually had a bill.
House bill, what?
I'll have to find it, but it died. So they didn't bring it back.
What was in the bill?
Basically allowing gender reaffirming surgery for young people. And the protections if somebody brought somebody from another state or something to do it. He wanted to give protections to these individuals who were doing it.
Oh, that would come from Indiana or Iowa or Wisconsin.
Things of that nature. But what resources are out there for parents? Because there's a lot of parents that listen to this show and listen to this station. What resources did you reach out to, and how did you find them?
Well, I was in it, 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago, and there were very few resources at all. Abigail Schreier's book, Irreversible Damage, had just been published, which, thank God, because you really feel alone. But there are quite a few resources now. There are parent support groups. parents of ROGD kids. There's my group. There's a group actually in Illinois called Partners for Ethical Care. They do great work. But there are books that parents should read. One is Raising a Child in a Transgender World, and it's by Erin Brewer. And so that will give tips on how to protect your child from getting indoctrinated in the first place. And then if your child is caught up in the web, it is the book that I used to help navigate. The words I used was detox. No, I think it was desist, detox, detrans. But the worst thing that a parent could do is ignore it, because those of us who got our child back into reality, we all used the same tactics, which is to address the issue, the elephant in the room, and not be fearful and never accept the gender identity.
So what ultimately came, what I'm trying to say is what made her ultimately come to a place where she said, no, I'm not transgender anymore.
That was my question.
Yeah, so it's not one particular thing. So it's a long journey going in, it's a long journey going out. So I did a lot of things to get her to enjoy her female body again by taking her on long hikes, putting her in a private Catholic school, sending her to go see relatives who were not going to believe, her gender identity. So we did a lot of things. I actually started protesting, and I left all my signs all around the house and my books, and made it glaringly obvious that Mom and Dad aren't believing in this. And it's very cultish. You have to kind of treat them. Yeah, you have to treat them as almost as a drug addict or as a cult member to extract them. And I use that word purposefully.
Now, did she ever put on a bra to suppress her breasts or ask for bottom or top surgery?
She did wear a binder to compress her chest. I mean, she did it under the guise of cosplaying. So she would dress up when she was younger before she took on the trans identity. And so I took those, but friends would drop them off. I'd actually have to toss her room to find some of this stuff. But she asked for top surgery. She asked for period suppression. Oh. But she didn't ask for the bottom surgery. But, she was only 13, 14 during that period.
Miss Erin Friday, I just want to make a statement. Thank you so much for fighting for your child. I think it's so important, imperative that people know, never give up on this as it relates to your children, because they don't know. They simply don't have the brain function to understand what they're going through, their feelings, for the most part. They start off as feelings. So I want to say thank you so much for fighting for your child and encouraging the rest of those people that are out there dealing with this, that there is hope. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And how's your daughter doing now? How old is she?
She's 16. She's doing great. She might show her body off now a little bit too much, celebrating her femaleness.
Welcome to teenage years.
Exactly.
Can't take enough selfies.
Yeah. Oh, God.
No, she's doing great. So I'm really pleased, obviously, with the outcome. And 2 weeks ago was the first time she said thank you for pulling her out. So it was great.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Erin Friday. The article is called "Mom Explains What It Took to Rescue Her Daughter from Transgenderism." Our show will tweet that article out so people can read the whole thing. Yeah. It's at Daily Signal, dailysignal.com.
They're after our kids.
Yes. All right, Erin, thank you so much for telling us your story. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
It's February, and that means it's time for the auto show. Also, February is Ford Truck Month. which means some of the best incentives of the year at Joe Cotton Ford. Now through the 28th, enjoy 0% financing for 36 months plus $3,000 customer cash on new F-150s for well-qualified buyers. The 2023 F-150 Lightning was voted North American Truck of the Year as well as Motor Trend Truck of the Year. This is why Ford is the best-selling vehicle for 46 years in a row. Come see why Joe Cotton Ford is Chicagoland's best Ford buying experience. Again, voted top pick for sales and service 9 years running. For 48 years, we've been delivering the perfect vehicle for your taste, needs, and budget. Joe Cotton Ford has the friendly, no-stress way to shop for new or certified pre-owned vehicles. No hassles, no gimmicks, just real prices. From 3 generations of our family to yours, you have our word on it. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
As chosen by Daily Herald readers to qualified buyers plus tax, title, license, and $347.26 doc fee.
It's time, that time of the day where I crack my 6 capsules of Balance of Nature over into warm water, and I love it. I know some people have a hard time taking the vegetable ones. No. My mom cracks hers open over applesauce, and or you can just take them whole. You take them. Why are you shaking your head, Johnny Anthony? Applesauce.
That's interesting.
Yeah, at night she has her applesauce, and she puts her Balance of Nature in there and mixes it up, and my mom looks fantastic, by the way. She's going to turn 80. Yeah. And
I'm going to try that.
She looks like she's 60. Seriously. And she's never Botoxed or had any work done or any strings. Justin and Quinn, no strings for my mom. That's the latest fad, is to put strings in your face and pull them up. You don't need that. Just take Balance of Nature. Real fruit, real vegetables, real nutrition, real science. So get the nutrition your body needs and the nutrition your body craves, because you're not eating enough fruits and veggies on your own. And really, that is where Balance of Nature comes in. Good nutrition is the foundation of all aspects of health. The number to call, 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago, or simply go online to balanceofnature.com. Discount code Chicago.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your complete health assessment at Low T Center. They now offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month cash pay, or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near Low T Center, or you just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy. To get started on treatment, only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hi, I'm Dave Nissen, CEO of PKF Mueller. The current COVID pandemic has been a challenge for all of us, and many businesses struggled and experienced financial distress. Businesses are focused on recovering now, and fortunately, several government programs are available to ease this process. One such program is the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC, an incentive program designed to bolster businesses that were able to retain their employees during the COVID pandemic. Companies may be eligible for up to $26,000 per employee if they qualify, and they may be eligible even if they previously participated in the Payroll Protection Program, or PPP. Most importantly, this is not a loan. No repayment is required. Billions of dollars are still available, yet many companies are underutilizing this credit due to IRS changes on eligibility. Our dedicated ERC team can help to discover if your business is eligible, determine the amount, and assist with the filing of the credit. Contact me directly to learn more at 630-524-5274 or online at pkfmueller.com.
As an American business owner, you know basic supplies you use for your business can run out quickly, and you've got to get more in a hurry. Now, there's Supplyland.com, based close by in Wheeling, Illinois. Supplyland is your new online destination for essential packaging, janitorial, safety, and maintenance supplies. A great selection of the most widely used products with over 2,000 trusted brand items to choose from.